like to color him for too long when he gets here because he's not in the best mood.
Well, pardon my French, but he hasn't been in a great mood for a couple of weeks.
Well, I think he's overworked, Chris. Between business and those people who've been following him, he's about had it.
He's never found out who they are?
No, and every time he turns around, they're following him or photographing him or something. He almost caught one the other day, but it didn't work out. So try not to throw too much at him when he gets here.
It's not just for me.
Well, I know Murray has stuff that needs attention, but let's try and get him to put it off a little bit.
Well, I'll try and track down Murray and fill him in.
All right, then let's hold on till this afternoon if we can.
94 to 99, 97, 99. Temperature change expected.
Yes, I know, CJ, I'm late. I'm sorry. The phone has been ringing off the wall. I can't believe everything has to be done right now.
Chris, would you call the restaurant and see if we can push the reservation to 1:30?
Houston, stop right there. Houston, there is a performance bond on this shipyard deal I just don't like.
And we have got to talk about rescheduling. Murray, what I have got to do is eat some lunch. What you've got to do is please stay here and wait till I get back.
But Houston...
Murray, my head is spinning. I promise I'll sign it all when I get back. Promise. This is getting out of hand. I'm serious, CJ. I have spent my life building up my business. Now it's eating me alive.
Houston, no one twisted your arm. You wanted to be rich, you got to pay for it.
Cute, CJ. Well, I wonder what it's all for, you know what I mean? Sharon. Look, how many years has it been?
Too many.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Sharon is C.J. Parsons,
Hi.
my associate lawyer.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Sharon's an old friend of mine back in Texas. What are you doing here?
Well, Houston, I really don't know how to phrase this.
What's the matter?
Well, back home in Texas, for a long time now, someone's been watching me, following me. Well, I know it sounds foolish, but...
It doesn't sound foolish at all. For the last few weeks, every time Houston turns around, somebody's been following him.
You too? What's going on here?
Well, I don't know, but I'm getting damn sick of it. At first, I thought it was my imagination. It just happened too often to find out. Speak of the devil, do you believe that there's the van again? Open up!
Would you like some lunch?
We'll eat in a bit, thanks.
I wouldn't.
Once I thought I saw people taking my picture. A man. And once this other man was following me, and I just barely made it home. And then another time, someone tried to run me off the road. And I know it was deliberate.
What do the police in Houston say about this?
They didn't believe me. They just made some jokes about me being pretty and said they'd like to follow me home, too. And said the world was full of bad drivers.
Somebody's following both of us. 1,500 miles apart. Now, there's got to be an explanation for that.
Houston, I'm afraid. And I don't know why.
Don't worry about it. Nobody's gonna hurt you. And we'll get this thing figured out. Probably the best place to start is in Texas.
Houston, would you? I mean, you'd have to come back home.
I've been looking for an excuse to get back that way for a long time anyway. I haven't seen my daddy in a while.
I'll have Chris make an airline reservation. You call your dad. If I know him, he'll want to pick you up at the airport.
Texas welcome.
Oh, it's been a long time, Dad.
What are you doing up in that little bitty state, Calico? What is it?
California.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember Sharon Dardis?
Hi, Mr. Casey.
Tell Mr. Cody that his friend from the airport is calling.
Mr. Cody, Mr. Lane is calling you from the airport.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Cody. We just got in. Houston's here. He's got the girl with him.
Stay with them.
Mr. Cody, I really feel it's a little early.
You always knew your deadline, Doctor. Houston's here now. Those bandages coming off today.
I don't understand if someone's following Sharon. What can you do about it? Where do you begin?
Not exactly sure, Dad. The only thing I can do is wait till it happens again, then counterpunch.
Well, I don't even want to think about it. This is the first day I've relaxed in months. Look.
I've forgotten how pretty this drive is.
And it all belongs to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, Daddy gave me this land when I graduated.
This is the land you're giving over to the state. Well, it was in all the papers.
I mean, these places are hard to come by these days with modern development. The birds need a place to migrate. Kids need places to fish. This is all going to become a preserve.
I think it's just wonderful. I guess everybody does.
Elkridge Oil doesn't. Elchin Cody's company. That old pirate's been after this riverland since the day one.
Why?
There is oil under it. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey. Santos?
Welcome home, Templar.
Good to be here.
Matt? What is it?
These were taken today. No visible change in appearance. No scars to worry about.
I did everything, didn't I, son? Offered Houston top dollar for those lands. I even told him to name his own price.
There's just no dealing with him.
I talked to Houston like a man. What did he say?
Said he already had the biggest steak he could eat.
Biggest steak he could eat. Elkhart Oil's going under unless I can get those river lands.
Houston did this to himself, Daddy.
All right, Doc, get started.
Huh? Oh, yes. Mr. Cody.
Houston's the name. Matt Houston. Very nice.
Excuse me. Freshen up a little.
Well, we'll just have to see what C.J. Parsons has to say about it.
Maybe. We only need a couple of days.
Hey, where's the doc?
Well, he said he went to freshen up.
Freshen up my eye. He figured it out. After his job was done, we couldn't leave any loose ends. Find him.
Amigo, por favor. Vámonos. Operator, I want to make a long-distance call. Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. Collect. Person to person, Mr. Virgil Wade. Yes.
Yeah. Tell him I'll be right there.
It's Colette.
Colette? Okay, I'll take it.
Be there, Virgil. Please let him be there.
You old son of a gun. It's been years. What's up?
Virgil! Oh, I'm so glad you're there. It's Houston.
Calm down now. Calm down. What about Houston?
Virgil, I don't know what made me do it. To think I could get away with it. I'm so sorry.
Get away with what?
They offered me so much money. I mean, so much money. Not that you could turn down the Codys. Anyway, they're the power. You know that.
What the hell are you talking about?
Virgil, you're gonna hate me. I thought I could get out in time, pull a sting on the Codys. Dear God, what made me think that? Virgil, they're gonna kill me.
Doc, tell me about Houston.
Oh, God, this is it.
Doc!
Oh, God, this is it. It's okay, Virgil. It's okay. Hey, hang on just a minute. Oh, boy, am I glad to see you guys.
Doc! 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 Doc!
Daddy? Now, what's all this with the luggage outside?
I know. You get home once in a millennium, and I get a phone call that puts me on the next plane out of the country. I've got a problem. An accident on one of my offshore oil platforms. 4 men killed.
Oh, my God, Daddy, I'm sorry.
I know the families. I have to be there.
Of course you do.
And that luncheon I set up for tomorrow, half of Houston society will be there, saying hello, but I won't be there either. Well, we got time for a visit, albeit a shorty. Still bourbon?
You bet.
Sharon okay?
Yeah, I dropped her off at home, safe and sound. Tell me something. When I left here, her family was quite wealthy. Now she's working as a waitress.
I should have said something to you. Her daddy, just before he died, went belly up, mortgaged everything in sight. That little house that Sharon's living in, well, that's the last of that estate. Well, time does go by, doesn't it? Well, maybe one of these days we can have a real visit.
We'll get it done.
I hate to leave you, son. I mean, if you get trouble,
No, I'm gonna be all right. You have to go.
You don't get home very often.
Say that again.
And I miss you.
I miss you too, Daddy.
Be careful, son.
Safe trip. Real fine service.
Well, I'd hoped you'd be a little early.
Well, you knew I would be.
Now, Houston, you know your father planned this little cocktail party reception.
We'll be a little late. You know, thinking back on it, you corrupted me at a very tender age.
I corrupted you? Oh, sure. You remember, we used to get home when it was practically daylight, and I'd sneak in the house. We thought we were so wicked, didn't we? Lordy, by today's standards, we qualified for sainthood. Oh, Houston. We had that big fight, and then you were gone. I didn't hear from you.
Many phones where I was in Nam, Sharon.
And time went by. I was lonely. I was angry. I was
ancient history, isn't it?
Uncle Matt.
Sandy, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Well, wonderful. You're looking great.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you in a little.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Houston! How are you, Houston? Elton, nice to see you. Well, Houston. That pretty lady. I don't believe I've had the pleasure. In fact, I know I haven't.
Sharon Dardis. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Cody.
Mr. Houston here has good taste.
Why, thank you.
Good taste, not necessarily good judgment. Seems that Mr. Houston and I differ in our perception of good judgment. Well, that's what makes the world go round. Yeah, another subject. Unless you change your mind.
No, I haven't.
Oh, of course. Mr. Houston here is a rare man. I appreciate it, I really do. But it doesn't mean I have to agree with it, of course. Let me ask you, my dear. If you had some 4,000 acres of riverland, doing nothing but sitting there for some birds sunning themselves, giving it to the state Lord Almighty...
I don't think this is really a good time. We're going to run along, right?
You can't say I didn't make you a fair offer.
Good offer.
Good offer. Good offer. That's right. You heard that? Make the deal. Now, take my hand on it, Houston. Take my hand.
The only way I'm going to take your hand, Elgin, is to say goodbye.
Say yes to me, Houston. It's your last chance. Your last chance.
Goodbye.
Hell, Houston, I got all the steak I could eat myself.
Oh, you tried every way. All I got to do now is make a phone call. Do it.
He scares me.
Elgin Cody can be a pretty scary man.
I don't know. Wouldn't life be simpler if you just sold him the riverland? I mean...
With that riverland, he would have a continuous line from wellhead to ship. Next thing he'd do is dredge a harbor, just destroy the whole landscape. Looks like a detour. I guess we'll just have to take the long way home.
You're good company.
Hang on tight, we got a little trouble.
Hell, he spotted us.
This is Tanny. Houston's on his way.
Don't worry. We'll get him next time.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. I'm a friend. We
better tell me how you're my friend before I roll all over you like a truck. What are you staring at?
We gotta talk.
You best make it fast. This has not been my day.
Yeah. Well, first, I want to show you something.
So you've got sketches of me. Who's the fan club?
I don't know. But you got a wicked right. Need a little more fortification, you mind?
Look, what are these supposed to mean? What are you doing in my father's house? And who the hell are you?
Name's not important.
Well, then you won't mind telling me what it is.
Virgil Wade. Came to see Bill.
But he happens to be out of town on a business trip, and he probably...
Oh, this business had come up all of a sudden. I mean, unexpected, so that he had to leave right away, right now.
Matter of fact.
It's a setup.
Oh, please, help yourself.
You gotta get out of here. Gotta get back to L.A. Too damn risky for you to stick around here.
Is that right?
I got these from the office of a friend of mine. He's, was a plastic surgeon.
What's your point?
You planning on getting your nose bobbed? No. So why was Doc working on somebody to make him look like you? Go back to L.A. till this gets figured out, huh?
What is it with you? What do you want from me?
I just want to save your hide, that's all.
Why do you want to save my hide? Something very funny has been going on. I think you're a part of it. Now, you better start talking to me straight before I break your head.
I don't blame you for taking it this way. I probably would myself. Better talk to Bill. Tell him to call me when he gets back, huh? I'll be at the Aztec Motel.
You are not going anywhere till you tell me what's going on.
I'll do that.
Talk to me.
That's what I've been doing. I can't get through to you, so now I'm leaving. You just let it be.
You come in here with this song and dance about a dead doctor. You show me sketches of myself. You tell me what's going on. What is your con?
Just don't press it.
Press it? Tell me why. You tell me why I shouldn't press it. You say you came here to help me, then you tell me why. You give me one good reason why I...
Because I'm your father! Oh, damn. I swear to Bill this will never happen. But you never find out you're adopted. But your life's on the line, and he's not here. I don't even know what the hell it is when I'm trying to protect you from it. It's there. I know it is. You're in danger. And you're my son! And I can't just let it pass!
Sharon, this is Houston. Listen, I've got to fly back to L.A. for some business. I think it would probably be safer if you came with me. All right, listen, I'll pick you up.
Virgil Wade is an interesting man, Houston. When I fed his name into Baby, it came up with more information than the local police have. To begin with, his name is an alias. He was a war hero in Korea, and when he came back to Texas, he became a wildcatter. Now, the tax records show that he was building up quite a fortune. And then about 30 years ago, everything just stopped.
What stopped?
The tax records. Apparently, he disappeared, became a drunk. Then he resurfaced a few years later, selling oil leases that he didn't have the right to sell.
That's when he started piling up the police record. Sharon, have you ever seen him before?
No, I've never seen him.
Oh, one little tidbit of information that's interesting. When you wade through all the aliases that he's had, you come up with the name Wade Matlock, the name he joined the Army with, his real name. How about that for a coincidence?
I don't understand any of this. Houston, you mean you thought this man might have something to do with me?
Not anymore, Sharon.
Well, if he approached you, you're going to need help.
CJ, I'll be just fine.
Houston, I think he's probably trying to set you up. If he came out of nowhere and approached you, what did he talk to you about?
Well, that's a little private. Listen, I'll keep in touch. Let's go.
Are you going back to Texas right away?
Yeah, first I'm gonna stop by the police station to see if he's got a record here in L.A.
What are you doing here? Why is the citizen standing here?
Lieutenant, it's just Houston.
Why don't you lighten up, Hoyt?
Sir, I will get to you in a minute. You let people just walk in off the street and handle department files?
Novelli used to always let Houston come in and check out.
You got some kind of eye problem? Do I look like Novelli to you? Novelli is gone. I'm in charge now. These records are for departmental use only unless authorized by my office. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What's the matter, Hoyt? Did your mother get scared by a drill sergeant?
Mother jokes, huh? State your purpose, Houston. Business or personal? If it's personal, sit down and have a cup of coffee. If it's business, hit the door.
Listen, I'm curious. What is it you have against me?
Against you? Nothing. Against private investigators, everything. I hate amateurs. Some people hate spiders. Some people hate snakes. I hate amateurs.
See you around.
Not so fast. This man, Virgil Wade, what do you want with him?
Strictly amateur night. You wouldn't be interested.
Not good enough. I want an answer.
Hoyt, I've got a lot of friends down here that are cops. I'd sure hate for one of them to have to arrest me for striking an officer. Now, why don't you take your hand off me? Thank you.
The man got guts.
What was that, Lieutenant?
Said the man is nuts. Next time Houston wants something, send him directly to me.
Yes, sir.
You're awfully quiet.
Got a lot on my mind.
For instance?
For instance, we have been followed
Followed.
ever since we left the police station. Better hang on. My turn now. Let's see how he likes being chased. This has definitely not been my week. We better get back to Texas. Sharon, listen, I think it would be a good idea if you stayed at my house for a little while.
Why, Matt Houston?
No, I mean, just for a little while until I figure out what the hell's going on.
Oh, really, I'll feel better in my own place. I'll be all right.
Sharon.
I promise. Anything unusual, I'll pop right back to your house. Okay?
Previously on Matt Houston.
Sharon's an old friend of mine back in Texas. What's the matter?
For a long time now, someone's been watching me, following me. Well, I know it sounds foolish, but
It doesn't sound foolish at all. For the last few weeks, every time Houston turns around, somebody's been following him.
Somebody's following both of us. 1,500 miles apart. Now, there's got to be an explanation for that.
Houston, I'm afraid.
Don't worry about it. Nobody's going to hurt you. We'll get this thing figured out. Probably the best place to start is in Texas.
Houston, would you?
I've been looking for an excuse to get back that way for a long time anyway. I haven't seen my daddy in a while.
That's the way we say hello, hello.
Matt?
H-E-L-L-O, that's the way we say
Thought I'd give you a real Texas welcome.
Oh, it's been a long time, Dad.
Yes, Mr. Cody. We just got in. Houston's here. He's got the girl with him.
This is the land you're giving over to the state.
Birds need a place to migrate. Kids need places to fish. This is all going to become a preserve.
I think it's just wonderful. I guess everybody does.
Elkridge Oil doesn't. Elgin Cody's company. That old pirate's been after this river land since the day one.
Why?
There is oil under it.
Say yes to me, Houston. It's your last chance. Your last chance.
Goodbye.
I got these from the office of a friend of mine. He was a plastic surgeon.
What's your point?
You planning on getting your nose bobbed? No. So why was Doc working on somebody to make him look like you?
Elcott Oil's going under unless I can get those river lands.
Houston did this to himself, Daddy.
All right, Doc, get started.
Mr. Cody.
Houston's the name. Matt Houston.
You don't get home very often.
Say that again.
And I miss you.
I miss you too, Daddy.
Talk to me.
That's what I've been doing. I can't get through to you, so now I'm leaving. You just let it be.
You come in here with this song and dance about a dead doctor. You show me sketches of myself. You tell me what's going on. What is your con?
Just don't press it.
Press it? Tell me why. You tell me why I shouldn't press it. You say you came here to help me, then you tell me why. You give me one good reason why I...
Because I'm your father! Oh, damn, I swore to Bill this would never happen. That you'll never find out you're adopted. That your life's on the line, and he's not here. I don't even know what the hell it is when I'm trying to protect you from it. It's there. I know it is. You're in danger. And you're my son! And I can't just let it pass!
Sharon, this is Houston. Listen, I've got to fly back to L.A. for some business. I think it would probably be safer if you came with me. All right, listen, I'll pick you up.
Virgil Wade is an interesting man, Houston. When I fed his name into Baby, it came up with more information than the local police have. To begin with, his name is an alias. He was a war hero in Korea, and when he came back to Texas, he became a wildcatter. Now, the tax records show that he was building up quite a fortune. And then about 30 years ago, everything just stopped.
What stopped?
The tax records. Apparently, he disappeared, became a drunk. Then he resurfaced a few years later, selling oil leases that he didn't have the right to sell.
That's when he started piling up the police record. Sharon, have you ever seen him before?
No, I've never seen him.
Oh, one little tidbit of information that's interesting. When you wade through all the aliases that he's had, you come up with the name Wade Matlock, the name he joined the Army with, his real name. How about that for a coincidence?
I don't understand any of this. Houston, you mean you thought this man might have something to do with me?
Not anymore, Sharon.
Well, if he approached you, you're going to need help.
CJ, I'll be just fine.
Houston, I think he's probably trying to set you up. If he came out of nowhere and approached you, what did he talk to you about?
Well, that's a little private. Listen, I'll keep in touch. Let's go.
Are you going back to Texas right away?
Yeah, first I'm gonna stop by the police station to see if he's got a record here in L.A. What are you doing here? Why is the citizen standing here?
Lieutenant, it's just Houston.
Why don't you lighten up, Hoyt? Sir, I will get to you in a minute. You let people just walk in off the street and handle department files?
Novelli used to always let Houston come in and check out.
You got some kind of eye problem? Do I look like Novelli to you? Novelli is gone. I'm in charge now. These records are for departmental use only unless authorized by my office. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
What's the matter, Hoyt? Did your mother get scared by a drill sergeant? Mother joke, son. State your purpose, Houston. Business or personal? If it's personal, sit down and have a cup of coffee. If it's business, hit the door.
Listen, I'm curious. What is it you have against me?
Against you? Nothing. Against private investigators, everything. I hate amateurs. Some people hate spiders. Some people hate snakes. I hate amateurs.
See you around.
Not so fast. This man, Virgil Wade, what do you want with him?
Strictly amateur night. You wouldn't be interested.
Not good enough. I want an answer.
Wait, I've got a lot of friends down here that are cops. I'd sure hate for one of them to have to arrest me for striking an officer. Now, why don't you take your hand off me? Thank you.
The man got guts.
What was that, Lieutenant?
Said the man is nuts. Next time Houston wants something, send him directly to me.
Yes, sir.
You're awfully quiet.
Got a lot on my mind.
For instance?
For instance, we have been followed
Followed?
ever since we left the police station. Better hang on. My turn now. Let's see how he likes being chased. This has definitely not been my week. We better get back to Texas. Sharon, listen, I think it would be a good idea if you stayed at my house for a little while.
Why, I'm mad, Houston.
No, I mean, just for a little while until I figure out what the hell's going on.
No, really, I'll feel better in my own place. I'll be all right.
Sharon.
I promise. Anything unusual, I'll pop right back to your house. Okay?
Go ahead, say what you got to say.
That would take just about a week, and I don't believe I know where to start. How dare you? You come out of the woodwork after 30 years and drop this bomb. Damn you!
I had to.
You had to do nothing. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut.
I don't blame you for feeling the way you do about me. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You get sensible and hightail it out of here, and I'll go back into the woodwork.
I can't believe what I just heard.
Way it's got to be.
The way it's got to be? After all this, you just go back into the woodwork?
I got no other choice. Here, take a look at these, huh? You been doing business with Elgin Cody lately?
I don't do business with Elgin Cody, and I don't plan to.
Oh, then you went out there at his house with him today, huh? I got as close as his security would allow. I'd swear there was you there next to Cody, wouldn't you?
Have a little chat with Elgin Cody.
Oh, I'll ride along. Just to satisfy my curiosity.
I don't need your help.
Oh, you never know.
Why'd you do it?
What?
Dump me.
Your mother died, haven't you? And I... understand now, I was very young at the time, very much in love. I figured it was a lousy trade, and I hated you for it. But I didn't dump you. Gave you over to my best friend, Bill.
You blame me for her death, and you just walked away.
Walked away, yeah. I swam away in a river of bourbon. Yeah, I dove into a bottle and didn't come up for air for about a year. By that time, you were saying Dada, and Bill was your daddy. You were his world, he was yours, so we agreed to leave it that way. I stayed away because there was nothing else I could do about it. I had to. But I checked up on you all the time to see how you were getting along.
Just stop it, all right? Please. No more. You weren't around to wipe my nose or powder my buns. Let's just leave it like that, all right? I can't believe Cody. I mean, make a double of me? He must be one desperate man.
What the heck?
There's no action, and he's coming back. We gotta get the hell out of here. Now. Well, they're not trying to kill us or we'd be gone. Something's up.
new Matt Houston.
Great.
I'll take these two to my daddy's place. We got enough medicine there to keep him on ice till we need him. You guys take care of him. Had a few lumps and bruises on him. He's got to look like he's been in a bad car accident before he gets to the hospital.
Mark, Les, come on. Mr. Cody, give a minute of your time, please.
Well, people, it's the doctors who should be talking with you. Really, the doctor's place to tell you about their patients.
We heard you visited with Mr. Houston. Talked with him.
I visited with him, talked with him, laughed with him. He's doing fine. He got himself banged up a bit, but he's going home today. The fact that he injured his throat gave me a chance to do most of the talking. So I finally convinced him to sell me that riverland of his.
I hear you right, Mr. Cody? It's well known you and Houston are odds over that land. He's turning it over to the state.
That's just a little dance we businessmen do. Is just jacking up the price. That's all Houston was doing.
The word was you were at bitter odds over that land.
Totally wrong. Totally wrong. You don't necessarily need to see eye to eye on everything.
Chris, get me on the next flight to Houston.
Houston, I received you. Never found out who this is.
Well, Sharon said he's tied to Houston somehow. She's not sure how.
Well, he's tied to Houston now.
It's showtime.
Couple of days. All we need is a couple of days. Just so we get past the ceremony announcing the business.
Look at him, for crying out loud. He could fool the world.
As much as possible, keep your mouth shut. Couple of days, all we need.
Mr. Cody, I've studied Houston. The way he walks, the way he talks. I can be that man.
We figured it out. Now, we don't have to stop at the oil lands. We can take Houston for all he's got.
Who would know any different? Matt Houston could become a recluse. The next Howard Hughes. Why not?
Maybe because of a certain lady named C.J. Parsons. Fool the world? I'm not impressed. You want to convince me, fool someone close to Houston. Fool C.J. Parsons. She's flying in even as we speak.
What if she doesn't buy it?
Ah, easy. Miss C.J. will just have herself a little accident.
Houston, you scared us half to death. According to the news people, you're lucky to be alive.
Why, you know news people. I mean, wasn't as bad as it looked. Just a little fender bender. Yeah.
Well, you can play brave soldier if you want.
Well, CJ, I'm just shaken up a little bit. Yeah, I'll be all right. I've had better days.
Yeah, I guess you have. Listen, when you're feeling a little better, I'd like to talk to you about a couple of things. That deal that you struck up with Elgin took me totally by surprise.
That shouldn't be any surprise at all, CJ. I mean, after all, I just changed my mind. Who could pass up all that money?
Good morning, sunshine. Dreamy dreamland, huh? Yeah, Houston will all be over shortly. Need you till just after the ceremony this afternoon at your daddy's mansion. Everyone's gonna watch you, or at least who they think is you, sign over those riverlands to Elkhart Oil. Man, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You all right? How you feeling?
Oh, like my head's a balloon.
Listen, I could have never handled him by myself. I owe you one.
No, you don't owe me. Oh, you sure as hell don't. But I owe you. Plenty. And there's no way that I'll ever be able to make it up to you either. No way. Boy, you sure do remind me of your mother. You know that? I mean, in a lot of ways, but especially your eyes. There's something about your eyes.
I always thought she was Bill's wife.
Yeah, well, that's the way we set it up.
She was a pretty lady, wasn't she?
Oh, very. Yeah, but it was more than just a look. She was beautiful inside, you know. I mean, she was something special. Pity that you never knew her.
Let's get out of here.
Chasing us.
They figure they don't have to. See, the Codys have always had an odd lawman or two in their pocket. Figured there's no place for us to run to.
Well, we can't go back to your house, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I know a girl. She's got a little house. I think we'll be safe there. Listen, there's no time to explain. Just get on the phone to the police. I'll be in a minute. We gotta get this out of sight.
Hello, may I speak to Cord Cody, please? Cord, he's here. Matt Houston and that other man. Yeah? Right, yeah, I can keep him here.
You were the bait. You were the hook to get me here.
So what do you want from me, huh? You want me to say I'm sorry?
Why?
Just look around you. You were my chance out of this. Elgin Cody offered me a fortune.
Don't you understand? They would have killed you. The same way they killed the doctor. The same way they would have had to kill me and the double playing me. They have no other alternative. They have to clear up their loose ends.
All I had to do was get you here. And all you had to do was give him that stretch of Riverland. I mean, why not? What's it to you anyway? Then everybody would have been happy.
Conversation we had the other day.
was all a put on, wasn't it? You set me up.
Yeah, you'd like to slap hell out of me, wouldn't you? Well, go ahead. And you better do it fast, because Cord's on his way. Well, go ahead!
Change your plans, huh?
Let's get out of here.
Mighty pretty girl you got there.
Life's full of surprises. She's working for Cord.
Don't let her get to you, son.
I'm sorry.
They're coming too fast. We can never outrun them.
Well, shoot at them and back them off.
No, not yet. Slow down. Let them get ahead of us.
That'll be Cord. It shouldn't be that much of a surprise at all. You see, there has to be a time when business and the environment can get along together. So, like kiss and make up, you know? That's why we decided to go public and hold this little press conference.
That's right, that's right. Someone's got to show the way.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. I would like you to meet my associate and a very beautiful lady, Miss C.J. Parsons.
Excuse me.
Well, Anyway, what were we saying before?
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to assure all of you that we are going to do our best to disguise the oil wells in an ecological manner.
It's not him. Dear God, it's not him. Houston.
Connie, better stay put. No, Connie. I'm obviously the victim of a gigantic fraud. That's all I can say.
It's gonna be all right, see.
No, like Houston, you know what it's like looking at that man knowing it wasn't you. Looks like you and sounds like you.
Oh, where are you gonna run? You're a famous man. I had it all, Houston. I had it all.
Watch out!
Hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just let me sit down here for a minute, huh? Go on, get that.
I'll get it.
Go on. Yeah, go on. Get him.
Would you get a doctor, please? Thank you. Houston, if that man is a friend of yours, I think you ought to go see him.
Hey. You gotta hang on.
You're not leaving me a second time.
Well, if I can help it, there's too much that we didn't get to say. But either way, Bill must know.
He won't.
Break his heart. You learn the truth after he kept it from you all these years.
Easy. Easy.
You turned out all right. I'll take some of the credit. I put you in good hands. Bill's been a great father.
He's a good man. We made a team, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hell of a team.
I'm so glad that I finally got to meet you, son.
CJ, this is impossible. He cannot be serious.
Oh, yes, he can, Murray. Sign the papers.
But CJ, building this business was Houston's whole life. What happened down there in Texas? Why is he doing this?
I'm not sure what happened, Murray, but I do know his priorities have changed.
Changed? C.J. Houston is giving up his entire empire.
Well, whatever happened down there affected him deeply, didn't it?
Well, what is he going to do? Where is he going to go if he gives everything up?
Well, he's not going to give everything up, Murray. He's going to keep these offices to do the private detective work. And he's got enough money personally to not have to worry. But for the future, all the money...
Yes, I know. A trust fund for charity. He gave me the whole list. Medical research, Crippled Children's Society. Well, okay. We'll take good care of his companies for him.
Not we, Murray. You. You're going to do all the business downstairs, and I'm going to stay here in the offices with Houston.
You're staying with Houston as a private investigator? But you're a lawyer.
Half the FBI are lawyers.
Good to see you, son.
Did you get everything squared away on the rig?
Well as it can be.
Well, my friend, you gonna be happy running Houston Industries?
It's what I've always wanted. Seriously, Houston, thank you for having this faith in me.
Son, if you have business, take care of what's important now. I can wait.
No, you can't wait. What I am going to do is very important. I am going to take you out to dinner. I'm going to sit you down. I am going to order 2 very large glasses of bourbon. I'm going to tell you how much I love you, Daddy.
Son, I heard about what happened back home. They tell me that a man got killed, stepped in front of you and took a bullet that was intended for you. Now, who was it?
Just an old wildcatter I met once, Daddy. You wouldn't know. Come on.
Having reviewed all matters pertaining to this case, Having listened to arguments by counsel, also having read counsel's very thorough brief, this court finds that there are no grounds on which to reverse judgment of the original court decision. This court further finds...
Now, hold it. What are you talking about? All these words. You're just going through the motions here.
Wade, sorry for the interruption, Your Honor.
No, don't apologize. This is my final shot for an appeal.
Mr. Kimball, I suggest you calm down.
And I suggest that somebody give me a fair trial.
Your Honor, may I have a moment with my client, please?
No, you may not, Miss Parsons. This court is going to admonish your client to...
Admonished? Oh, there she goes again, using this legalese, mumble-jumble. The bottom line is, do I get a new trial or don't I?
Wade, no. At the moment, you're not crying.
I have got to have a new trial. I am innocent. Doesn't anybody care?
This matter is now out of my hands. Court is now adjourned.
I want you to sit down.
You know, you're no judge. You're just a rubber stamp for a legal system that stinks. 2 years! 2 years of my life I spent in prison for a murder that I didn't commit.
Hold it right there. Drop that gun! Hold it! Get down, everybody! Get down! Control, this is 9 out of 15. We're in pursuit of an ADW 215.
Some client you inherited, CJ.
Houston, his lawyer of record had a heart attack and called me at the last minute. What was I supposed to do?
Ever consider saying no?
No. I did some digging and I'm convinced that he's innocent.
It's good enough for me, CJ.
Have your guys cool it for now. I'll tell you when. Your client's not being very cooperative. Things could get very hairy very fast.
Is anybody with him?
His wife, kid, and a 38 special he took from the bailiff when he busted out of the courthouse.
Listen, being an ex-cop, he's bound to have a lot more firepower in there.
Hoyt, let me talk to him.
You did your talking in court.
Hoyt, what's the matter with you? That man has got a woman and child in there. One small backfire and this whole thing could go up. Give her a shot.
All right. Give it a try.
Wade, it's C.J. Parsons. Listen to me, I can't promise you anything, but please, let's try to work something out. There's the hope that we can get another trial.
What hope? Where do you go after a final appeal? I mean, I've got two options, a life in the joint or death out here in Van Nuys. Now, that's some future, isn't it?
Wade, listen to me. Do you remember I told you about Matt Houston? He's a private detective. He's the best. He can help you. Let him just talk to you for a couple of minutes.
How do I know I can trust him?
Wade, you can trust me or shoot me. I'm giving my gun to Lieutenant Hoyt, and I'm coming in.
The only reason I'm letting you do this, Houston, is because I knew Kimball. I liked him. In a strange sort of way, I owe him.
Open up, Kimball. I want to talk to you.
Wade, someone has to help.
Daddy, please.
I could talk a whole lot better if you weren't pointing that thing at me.
I never agreed to talk to you.
Wade, at least listen to the man.
Why? Listen's all I've done for 2 years. Lawyers, judges. All right, there's one thing you can do for me. You can take my wife and my daughter and get them out of here.
We're staying here with my daddy.
Nan, you just take Sonny and go. That's an order.
Now, listen to me, Kimball. You don't have to talk. You don't have to listen. That's your privilege. But it is not your privilege to risk their lives. They are sticking here because they love you.
Then why are you here?
Because C.J. Parsons believes you're innocent, and I am sticking my neck out to prove her right.
I don't want you to be hurt, Daddy.
Wade. Me and Sonny, we know you're innocent. But you'll never convince anyone else by hiding. Or by maybe even dying in here. Oh.
They are just doing their job, just like your daddy used to do when he was a policeman.
But he didn't do anything wrong. He never killed anybody.
I know that, sweetie. And I'm gonna do my best to prove that.
Why won't they let my daddy come back home and live with us?
Great. Coming in. Well, CJ, what has baby got for us tonight?
Oh, a little action sequence with a real sock opening. Tyrone Hadley, the man our new client is convicted of shooting to death 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember this case. Now, Hadley was supposedly a high up in the syndicate, in charge of all the incoming drug shipments.
Hadley's smiling because he walked into that courtroom facing a 15-year prison sentence, and he walked out a free man.
The judge kicked him loose on a technicality, no search warrant.
Which resulted in this. There's your sock opening.
Well, that's our client, Kimball, attacking Hadley.
Out of sheer frustration, Kimball and his partner spent 6 months building up an ironclad case against Hadley.
Yeah, a case that went right down the judicial toilet. I mean, no wonder Kimball lost his cool. Who's the man pulling Kimball off Hadley?
That's Terry Spence, Kimball's ex-partner. Too bad he wasn't around when Hadley was killed and the weapon turned out to be Kimball's service revolver.
Yeah. Were there any witnesses that placed our client at the murder scene?
No, but then he could never prove where he was that night. In fact, he didn't come up with an alibi till halfway through the trial.
That's right, I remember. It's the famous woman in white alibi.
That's right, his lone alibi. The problem with that is that nobody ever saw her, no trace of her was ever discovered, and the jury assumed she never really existed.
Yeah. Well, it is a little bit far-fetched.
By the way, Spence, our client's partner, got burned. He perjured himself at the trial trying to protect Kimball, so they bounced him off the force for it.
I would like to talk to him, but not right now. Why don't you go home, get some sleep, meet me back here at 8 a.m.
Where are we going?
Directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Okay, fine.
What's the big rush? Don't answer. My heart don't start beating until after my third cup of coffee.
All I want is conversation with Kimball and let CJ get a look-see at the Hadley file.
A waste of time. CJ's predecessor went through those files with a fine-tooth comb. Nothing.
Listen, Hoyt, yesterday, when I brought Kimball and his family out of that house, you said something like, well, in a strange sort of way, you owed him. What did it mean?
What it means is that Hoyt and a few of his fellow cops are on a guilt trip because they turn the other way when their superiors took Kimball to the wolves.
There were some pressure groups. Kept screaming police cover-up. Internal affairs never gave Kimball a fair shake.
And what they did give him, Hoyt, was a life sentence in San Quentin.
Jensen. This is Miss C.J. Parsons. She's a lawyer. She's to have full access to the Hadley murder files.
Yes, Lieutenant. Right this way, Miss Parsons?
So you busted Hadley with $3 million worth of coke in his car, and the judge threw the whole thing out because you had no search warrant and no probable cause.
Look, I know I was at fault, but you have to understand that this was a now or never situation, so I went for it.
Listen, where was your partner Spence at this time?
We staked out at Woodland Park. That's where the buy was supposed to go down, but we weren't sure it would.
Okay, well, what about this so-called woman in white alibi?
She exists. She was with me when Hadley was killed.
Kimball, you didn't even bring her up until halfway through your trial. Now, most people think that you just made her up.
I was trying to hide something from my family. Something I'm not proud of. God, it was the only time I cheated on Nan. I was so bombed. I was brooding. I was sore as hell. They cut Hadley free? I wake up the next day in some sleaze bag motel, and my alibi, long gone.
No name?
Nah. All I could remember was her face in that white dress. Real different. Had a lot of that, fancy lace.
Kimball, you still contend that you met her in the Code 3 bar, but listen, you've been in prison now for 2 years. You've had an awful lot of time to sit and think. Now, can you think of anybody that would want to kill Hadley and frame you?
If I had to bet on it, I'd say that Hadley's boss, Jerome Valentine, he ordered the hit on Hadley.
Well, that makes sense. The mob doesn't like publicity, and Hadley had an awful lot of that going on at the time you busted him. But why frame you?
Because I think Valentine knew that I was not going to give up on him until I nailed him and that whole outfit of his. Look, at this way, he could kill two birds with one stone.
And maybe one woman in white, huh? Any luck on the Hadley file?
Zip, like the man said, the investigation was over before it began.
What about Terry Spence, our client's partner?
Well, he runs the Regency Trucking Company in the Valley. I've got the address.
Excuse me, Mr. Houston. Della Palmer, KBBZ TV News, and this is a live remote. Mind answering a few questions?
No, not at all. Of course not.
Is it true you're now representing former police officer Wade Kimball?
Yes, I am.
Then will you be searching for that woman?
Mr. Valentine, Houston's on TV. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do nothing. However, if they get too close, you are going to stop them from breathing.
Care to comment?
No, I wouldn't. See, that might tip my hand to the guilty party. Hey, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Della Palmer, KBBZ TV News.
And then after you do that, make sure all that stuff on the north dock gets brought inside, all right? Okay, good deal. Hey, Craig, take it easy at that stuff. It's fresh. Treat it like it was nitro. I'm real sorry for the interruptions, but these guys hold world records in busting things. Where were we?
We were talking about your ex-partner and what happened that night at the Code 3 bar.
Yeah, right. Well, me and Wade were really teed off at that judge. Felt sorry for ourselves. So we went to the Code 3 and tied one on.
Yeah, listen, now, this lady in white, do you remember seeing her?
After my first dozen Harvey Wallbangers, I could have been seeing UFOs and not known it. Besides, me and Kitty left the bar before Wade did.
Kitty? That big Kitty Burkett, the cocktail waitress that got you booted off the force with her testimony on perjury.
Yeah, but Kitty didn't mean any harm. Listen, my partner needed an alibi. What the hell was I supposed to do? So I testified that me and Wade were out on an all-night binge.
Kitty testified that you spent the night with her.
Had to. That DA had her between a rock and a hard place. He scared her into telling the truth. Look, I'm sorry, but if you folks will excuse me, I got a date to help a certain campfire girl with her merit badge.
Your daughter?
No, ma'am. Wade Kimball's daughter, Sonny. Being without her daddy's been kind of rough, so I fill in whenever I can. If I can be of any further help, just give me a call, okay?
Thank you. Come on, CJ, I am going to buy you a Harvey Waldbanger.
Thank you, my man. Spent 6 years on the force, bomb squad. Unlike this job, you only get to make one mistake there. What do you want to know about Wade Kimball?
Well, you were here the night he supposedly killed Hadley.
I sure was. He was saturated. I had to quit serving him. Like the rocks? Poor guy just sat there on the bar stool, damning the legal system and saying all drug dealers ought to be taken out and shot. He got no argument in here.
Mr. Enfield, this is an important question.
Save your breath. I said it to the cops, and I'll say it to you. There was no woman in white here that night, at least that I saw.
Well, it's been a couple of years. Maybe you take a look. Maybe you've seen her since.
I wish I had. I went through the academy with Wade. He was a good cop.
Yeah, well, we're also trying to get a line on a waitress who used to work in here, Kitty Burkett.
That's easy. She still does. Kitty.
Yeah.
Come over here, love. These folks are trying to help Wade Kimball. Why don't you take 5, sit in the booth over there, and tell him what you can.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it. It's a shame what happened to Wade. I hope you can help him.
Thank you.
You know, talking to me is a big waste. God knows I'd like to help Wade, especially after all the trouble I caused him and Terry.
Trouble meaning you failed to corroborate his alibi.
Corroborate? I blew their alibi clean out of the water. My testimony got Wade sent to prison and Spence kicked off the force.
Meaning that you really did spend that night with Spence?
Yeah, I sure did. That was one hell of a night, too. What little I can remember. That's not much.
Kitty, does this police rendering mean anything to you?
Yeah, it's the woman in white. I remembered from the trial. I've never seen her here. I really never thought there was such a person.
I guess it would be pretty hard to remember everybody that came in and out of this place.
Well, but I kind of do. I mean, this is a cop bar, you know? The girls that come in here are cop groupies. Guess you could say I'm one myself. Anyway, the people that come through here are regulars. And I've never seen her. I'm sorry. Wish I could say different.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Bye. Well, we're not doing too well with this picture, not unlike the police 2 years ago.
Maybe not, CJ. I mean, think about it. Now, it's like Kitty said, this is a cop bar. Everybody knows everybody else in here. Now, Wade Kimball still contends that he was framed. He was picked up by a woman in white, but doesn't remember a whole lot about the rest of the evening.
That's because the booze was flowing.
Yeah, well, let's just say for a second I'm Wade Kimball. Now, I come in here, I'm frustrated, I'm lonely, I'm drinking myself blind. I get picked up by the woman in white. Well, let's say that the woman in white was part of the frame. Now, you be the woman in white and pick me up.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't just...
Exactly, CJ. You wouldn't come into a place like this and pick me up where you could be easily identified. Follow me. But if Wade Kimball was picked up out here on the way to his car...
No one would have seen him leave with the woman in white.
That's right. Now, if you're going to set up Wade Kimball, pick him up out here, take him to a motel, that would take a very special kind of lady.
A professional.
A hooker, CJ. CJ, the more I think about it, the more I realize that Kimball's theory works. Hadley was an albatross to the mob, especially to his boss, Jerome Valentine. That's why he had to die.
Well, here's what we know about Valentine. He was one of the kingpins of the syndicate. His specialties happen to be bribery, extortion, and drug running.
And murder.
And he's no stranger to the legal system. In the last few years, he's been arrested 23 times.
Ah, but never convicted. I'm an honest businessman, Mr. Houston. I simply have a small public relations problem.
You're also small on manners. Now, what are you doing here, Valentine?
Hoping to hire you. To determine once and for all whether Wade Kimball did or did not kill my very good friend, Tyrone Hadley.
Well, he can't hire me. See, I've already got a client. Her name is Sonny Kimball. She's about 6 years old.
Well, then you have 2 clients. And this client is offering you a blank check. Oh, no, I'll write it off as public relations. Settling this murder thing will eliminate any untrue rumors said about me.
Let me tell you something, Valentine. No amount of money is going to clean you up because you're scum. Now, why don't you take your 2 goons and get out of here?
I haven't finished yet.
Yes, you are. CJ, why don't you call Lieutenant Hoyt?
Oh, I had hoped we could do this in a civilized manner. You be nice.
Houston.
Now, do you see why I have a public relations problem? Everybody always chooses to think the worst of me. Well, I did my best to short-circuit Houston, but I'm afraid it simply didn't work.
There is another way. I hold 2 shooting records at the police academy.
Oh, you do covet the late Tyrone Hadley's job, don't you? Now, before you spill the gentleman's blood, I want to make one last attempt at discouraging him.
And if that doesn't work?
But then Houston's all yours.
Really appreciate you coming by like this.
Well, I figure Sonny being our client and all, he probably deserves a progress report.
Even if it's an unprogress report.
Oh, boy, the ice cream man. Mommy, please.
Yeah, see, I figure every little girl deserves ice cream for breakfast at least once in her life, you know? My treat.
It's like Houston has found a friend.
He's good with kids. She sure sparks to having a man around, now that her daddy isn't.
Nan, I'm sorry we didn't have more to tell you about Wade, one way or the other.
There you go.
Mr. Houston, how long before my daddy gets home?
Well, hopefully real soon, Pumpkin.
Daddy always read me the Sunday funnies, but Mom knows the law on Sundays.
Well, your mama's got an awful lot to do these days, and I hope you're being good and helping her out.
One of the kids at school said my dad was never coming home again.
Now, don't you listen to that.
I punched his lights out.
Well, you just lead with the left and you'll be fine. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Pretty rough stuff.
Yeah.
This morning on the phone, you said you had a job for me.
Yeah, I want you to call in one of your favors to the DA's office, take a look at one of his files for me.
What file was that?
The one that Kimball and Spence put together on the Hadley case a couple years ago.
Any idea what I should be looking for?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
Yeah, well, chocolate ice cream, CJ. I think you'll know what you're looking for when you find it. Hello. Well, thank you, Bojo. Listen, I'll be there in about a half hour, all right? CJ, I'm going to drop you off, and then I'm going to start back at square one.
Which is?
Which is finding the lady in white. Now, I've planted seeds all over town. Now they're beginning to pay off.
Well, Charity is not the chick in your sketch, Houston, but you did know her. You talked to the man, Charity.
Her name's Flo Nightingale. At least that's what she called herself.
So when was the last time you saw her?
2 years, give or take.
Well, do you any idea what happened to her? Listen, where can I find her?
If I knew what happened to her...
Let us finish that sentence, Charity. If you did know where to find her...
I'd bust her head like a ripe cantaloupe. She ripped me off. I lent her my Alice in Wonderland outfit with all the fancy white lace and everything. Said, I'll get it back to you, all cleaned and pressed. Nothing.
Well, what do you mean, nothing?
She split, disappeared.
Well, Charity, she must have had a reason for wanting that dress. You know, I mean, it was a special occasion or something.
It was special, all right. But I don't know what. You could ask him, but he ain't around anymore either.
Charity, baby, you have got to be more specific. Now, you tell this man just exactly who ain't around anymore.
The dude Flo was doing the favor for. Vice Squad. The one that kept getting on her case all the time.
This guy have a name?
Everybody's got a name, honey. The problem is I only remember certain faces.
Right, like Andrew Jackson, the fellow I've been so generous with here today, right? One final question, Charity. Now, how come you never mentioned the woman in white before?
Simple. Nobody ever asked me.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you very much, Charity. Mojo, bless you. If you do think of the man's name, you'll get in touch, I'm sure. Thank you.
You are telling me there actually was a woman in white and she was a hooker?
You got it.
Now, what kind of hooker in the right mind would hang out at a police bar?
Well, one who knew she'd be safe hanging around in a police bar.
So the deal was you scratch my back and I won't hassle you, right?
Right.
Whose back was she scratching?
Well, I don't know. If we can match her name up with her sketch, maybe we'll find out.
Nightingale, Nightingale, Flo Nightingale. Nightingale. Well, she's not in the active file. Let's try the inactive file.
Like in dead?
Right.
Well, would you look at that? A mysterious woman in white. Take a look at a rap sheet.
What am I looking for?
Well, the arresting officer's name. Somebody who hassled her a bunch. Probably lead the parade by a country mile.
You know, Houston, maybe you got something?
What do you mean?
Flo Nightingale's rap sheet. It's missing. Hoyt. Got it. Wade Kimball. He wants to see you in the jail right away. Urgent.
Thank you. What do you mean I'm fired?
Because I said so. What's the matter? A guy can't change his mind?
No, Kimball. I mean, the stakes are too high here. I'm too close to unraveling this mess.
Houston, you're not hearing me. Now, I'm guilty. I killed Hadley.
Oh, I don't believe this. Who got to you, Kimball?
Nobody.
Come on, you're
Nobody.
lying. Who got to you? I mean, how did the mob get to you?
Houston,
did they slip
please.
you a note? Is that it? You want me to have Hoyt tear this place apart?
Okay, damn it! You want to know? Here. Here, that's how they got to me. Now, that's Sonny in her own bedroom. Do you understand now?
Where did you get this and when?
This morning. That was in my cell when I got back from exercise yard. Now, you see the tear. You know what that means in mob language. Now, either you get off the case or Sonny's gonna die.
Guard. I need to borrow this picture.
Wait a minute, Houston. Wait a minute. That's my little girl.
Now, you listen to me, Kimball. Now, if you lie down because of this, your little girl is going to die inside because she's always going to think her daddy was guilty. Now, I can protect her from the mob, but I can't protect her from you.
Well, now you know just as much as I do, Hoyt. Now, first thing we have to do is get some round-the-clock protection for Kimball's wife and daughter.
What are you going to do?
Now, one thing I'm not going to do is give up this case.
Yeah, your fatherly love plan didn't work. No problem. Consider Houston dead.
Well, you were half right about the DA files.
Which half?
The half that says that the Regency Interstate Trucking Company, the company that employs Terry Spence, is co-owned by...
Jerome Valentine.
You got it. It's a perfect way to transport drugs. Okay, it's your turn.
My turn to what?
You left me a message saying that you had red-hot information.
Well, what information?
The message telling me to meet you here at the housing development.
CJ, I didn't leave a message for you. I got a message from you. CJ, get out. I gotta borrow your bike. That lady over there will explain everything. Oh, boy, here it comes now.
There you go, sweetie. Please don't spill that.
It was real nice to see you again, Mr. Houston.
It was real nice to see you again, too. Now, you just keep thinking positive about your daddy, and he'll be here before you know it, all right?
Anything new?
Well, not really, but I did want to ask you a question. Have you had any visitors last night or the night before?
No.
Are you sure?
Terry Spence came over last night, but he's more like family.
You see an awful lot of Terry Spence, don't you?
Once or twice a week. He's the best friend we've got. Generous, too.
In what way?
Money. I don't see how we would have kept afloat, kept up the house payments if it wasn't for him. He calls it a gift. I call it a loan. Although he did borrow some money from Wade back, well, before everything fell apart.
Isn't that a bit odd? I mean, a bachelor borrowing money from a family man?
Every cop has ways of dealing with the stress. Terry gambled in those days. Quite a lot. He says he's since sworn off.
Is that a fact? You said he was by here last night. Now, what time was that?
Well, Sonny was asleep, so it was sort of late. Just popped in for some coffee. Around 10.
By any chance, did he look in on Sonny by the time you were making coffee?
Yes.
Thank you. I gotta run. CJ, Terry Spence is our man. Now, he took this Polaroid of Sonny last night and then figured out a way to slip it into Kimball's cell, which also means that he killed Tyrone Hadley and framed his partner for the murder.
Houston, Spence has an alibi, Kitty Burkett. It was one hell of a night, remember?
Yeah, but she said what she could remember of that night. Now, she couldn't remember much of it because Spence slipped her a Mickey, knocked her out for a couple of hours.
So Spence slipped out and killed Hadley.
Yeah, with the help of a hooker named Flo Nightingale, who turns out to be our mysterious woman in white. Now, she picks up Kimball in the parking lot of the bar, takes him to a sleazy motel, then she slips him a Mickey.
Then she gave Spence Kimball's gun.
That's right. And while Kimball and Kitty were drugged out, Spence killed Hadley with his partner's gun and then got back into the sack with Kitty before she woke up.
Okay, well, it's coming together, Houston, except for a couple of things. Whatever happened to the woman in white?
Well, I'm afraid Spence probably got rid of her, killed her.
Well, why did Spence kill Hadley?
That's what I'm going to go talk to him about. Now, you call Lieutenant Hoyt, tell him to meet me at the trucking company, and you stay put, all right?
Yes, get in Lieutenant Hoyt, please.
Hi there, Mr. Houston. Back to ask some more questions?
Well, just one, Mr. Spence. Why did you kill Tyrone Hadley and frame Wade Kimball?
Some kind of a joke, right?
No, I'm dead serious. I even got my own theory on why you did it. Would you care to hear it?
Sure, why not? I always did like fiction.
All right, here goes. You are a compulsive gambler. You got yourself into hock to Jerome Valentine. You got yourself out of hock by killing Hadley and framing Kimball.
Interesting theory. Problem is, theories are just that, without proof.
Oh, I've got proof. Lots of proof. You see, I forgot to mention the fact that the man that killed Hadley also tried to kill me. Then he got away on his motorcycle, but before he did, he took a bullet hit in the left shoulder.
Leaving the right shoulder perfectly free.
Police, Spence, drop your weapon! Everybody down!
it go at the police station?
Well, just take a look at his face. He got reinstated on the police force.
Okay, good work, Houston.
Daddy, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, you do, huh? Okay.
I did it all by myself.
Oh, I love you too, sweetheart.
Didn't I see you do a drawing for Mr. Houston?
Well, would you look at that? That is wonderful. You know, I bet that is the best grizzly bear I've ever seen in my life. Wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a rabbit.
Yeah, of course it is. And a dandy rabbit, too, you know. It's a, yeah, we were just pulling your leg. Listen, I've got something for you, too, sweetheart.
This is what I owe you.
Mm-hmm. And this? Right here is where you're supposed to plant it. Right here, right there. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, thank you. How about another one? Just a little one. CJ, has Hoyt arrived yet?
Nope. Houston, Macklin just arrived.
That means he's about to make his pickup, CJ. Let's get on that car phone and see what happened to Hoyt. Got the money, CJ?
No, Hoyt.
I'll have to take him myself.
You hear that, Macklin? Now give it up, it's all over.
Houston.
All right?
CJ, no, I'm not.
That's very sure about you banged your ribs up pretty good. Now, there'll be some pain for a while, but if you give it some rest, you'll be as good as new in a couple of weeks, and everything will be fine.
Thank you.
There's some forms you'll have to fill out. Nurse Brown, would you assist Mr. Houston?
Of course. Hi.
Hi. Hit my ribs, Thank you.
I've never had dinner with a patient before. I don't like to mix business and pleasure.
Well, you remember I was discharged from the hospital. I think your streak is intact.
You know, my father was a policeman. Maybe that's why I like you.
Well, I'm not really a cop. I'm a private detective.
It's close enough. You know, it really has been a most enjoyable evening.
Yes, it has.
It doesn't have to end.
Houston.
Houston, oi. Just got off duty. Stopped by your office hoping to catch you.
Well, what's the matter? Trouble?
Something we should talk about.
Why don't you stop by the beach house?
No. I've got to stop by the laundromat at 5th and Collins Street. Meet me there.
Chow time.
Well, I'll be there, all right? You know, this looks really good, Aaron, but, you know, I'm not going to have time to eat this. Something's come up, and I got to run.
Oh, but I had a big day planned for us. I thought I would call in sick, and then maybe we could go sailing and have lunch on Catalina.
I know, it is police business. I really do have to go. Come on, we better get dressed.
Maybe we could have lunch later.
Well, I can't. I'm meeting with a client.
Oh, what about dinner?
I don't know, Aaron. I don't know what my time frame is.
Sorry, I'm being a little clingy, aren't I?
Well, just a little bit. It is flattering.
Morning, Mr. Houston.
Hello, Josh. How you doing?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Well, good. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Houston. I always like to hold the door for a pretty lady.
Thank you. You're very sweet.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Good morning, Houston. Have you seen your messages yet? Bet you haven't. 2 are business and 4 are from, and I quote, Erin, the one who really loves you, unquote. She wants you to call her at the hospital.
She really said this over the phone?
Oh, yeah. I had to explain the 3rd message to Chris.
That's true, but I'd explain the last one to CJ.
I've got a delivery here for Matt Houston. It's from the one who really loves you.
You're very welcome.
CJ, what did I do to deserve all this?
Well, that was mentioned in her 3rd message. Something about your technique. Oh, come on. You love being smothered with all this attention.
CJ, it's not being smothered. It's being buried. I mean, well, you know what I mean. Did you ever
wake up next to someone in the morning and realize they were a totally different person than they were the night before?
No.
Line 3, Houston, it's you-know-who, and she sounds upset.
Thank you. Hello.
Oh, Houston. Oh, thank God I found you.
Aaron, what's the matter?
It's my apartment. It's all torn up, and this man, I saw him following me.
Just settle down now. Relax. What I want you to do is lock yourself in. Don't open the door to anybody but me. I'll be there as soon as I can.
What's happening?
See, Jake, Macklin's muscle must have followed me to Erin's place when I dropped her off this morning.
Who?
Well, I'll tell you about it later. This is her address. Call Hoyt. Tell him to meet me there.
Yeah, get Lieutenant Hoyt, please.
nothing was missing out of Erin's apartment. Yeah? No signs of forced entry.
Somebody had a key.
Yeah. Yeah, Hoyt figures probably an old boyfriend.
Looking for something?
Well, my beach house key.
Houston, you are always losing that key. It's the third time this month.
Second time.
Here it is.
Where you found it?
It's your backup. I think you've lost your spare.
Yeah.
Okay, what now?
Well, I'm gonna go to hospital and see if I can come up with some answers.
Okay.
Well, I've always found Nurse Brown to be competent, not outstanding, but she does know hospital procedure.
Yeah, well, can you think of any reason why someone might have a grudge against her?
Grudge? No, not really. Of course, she's only been with us a short time, so I really haven't had much of a chance to get to know her.
Well, any idea where she worked before she came here?
Well, I should be able to tell you, but the darndest thing, her file seems to be missing. Look, the central computer will tell us. ERINBROW. That's very strange. Her file seems to be missing everywhere. Look, I'll talk to personnel, see if I can track it down for you.
Thank you.
Dr. Smith, call your office. Dr. Smith, call your office.
Houston! What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, listen, Aaron, you mind if I talk to you alone for a minute?
You could talk to me alone for as long as you like.
Listen, Aaron, I'm having some difficulty locating your records.
Records? What records? Where?
That's what I mean. I can't find anything. I mean, your file has disappeared.
What do you mean by checking up on me like I'm some sort of common criminal or something? I thought you were supposed to be helping me.
I am helping you. I mean, I need to know these things so I can find out who's trying to bother you.
That doesn't give you any right to dig into people's past and dish up lies and things that were better left off buried.
Just wait a minute now. What do you mean, past and lies?
Nothing. Nothing. I just... Oh, Houston, how do we ever get into this? I don't want to hire you. I just want to make love to you. Can we just forget this whole thing and go back to the way it was?
Aaron, this is what I'm talking about. I need to know that.
I'm sorry. Please, please, let's just forget this. Let's go back to my
Wait here a minute, would you? Hey, Come on, get up. Get up. I'm tired of playing games with you.
Please, don't hurt me. Look, I never thought it'd end up like this.
That's what they all say.
No. Hey, you don't understand. We're brother, Gregory Brown. It was just a little game. I was doing her a favor.
Go on.
She wanted me to pretend I was after her so you'd protect her. So you'd stay close to her. She's crazy about you, man.
We'll see about that. Come on.
Dr. Bredfeld reports Dr. Marr in administration.
Is this your brother?
Bartlett, call physical therapy on 240.
Oh, great. Go on, get up. Go on.
I know what you're thinking. I only did it because I was afraid of losing you.
Do you realize he knocked the kid off his bicycle and broke his arm? Worse than that, 2 cops with very shaky hands arrested me. They could have blown my head off.
Don't be mad. We love each other.
We love each other. Wait, Aaron, that's not what we have.
Please, don't say that. Can't we talk about this later?
No, we can't talk about this later. See, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't want to see you.
I don't want you to call me. I don't want to see you again. Do you understand that?
Still takes a man's hand, and the caring. Yes, missy. I promise you, my keys will work, you betcha. Original here, and the duplicate to your apartments.
Thank you. Actually, it's to my boyfriend's beach house.
Oh.
Sure appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you.
Mr. Houston?
Houston, I'll get back to you. How's the old guy doing?
Well, doesn't look good.
Oh, act up like that. 20 years and I still can't get used to it.
Have you got any leads?
I thought you already knew. He made a statement before he went into surgery. I'm afraid we got to pick up your girlfriend.
What do you mean, girlfriend?
Erin Brown, your nurse friend.
Oh, wait a minute, Hoyt.
Hoyt, that's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, whoever did this to Josh, that's the work of a psycho.
He made a positive ID.
I'm sorry.
Listen, we've got to find her.
Already posted APB.
She's got to be a very sick woman. CJ, look, I want you to check all the mental institutions, see if they've ever treated her. In the meantime, I want to talk to your friend, Dr.
Osgood, departmental shrink?
Yeah, that's the one. Look, how soon can I see him?
Round about lunch. Take that long to round him up. Okay, see you later.
Well, from what you told me, Mr. Houston, your lady friend is suffering from an obsessional mania.
Doc, you want to run that by me again, in English?
Well, she's built up an imaginary relationship with Mr. Houston. One that she uses to escape her loneliness.
Well, I don't know, Doc. I mean, the way she attacked Josh. I mean, when I first met her, she seemed so...
Normal.
Yeah, normal.
Well, it's not as extraordinary as you might think. She's a classic schizophrenic with homicidal tendencies. You know, I'd love to observe her if you ever get to pick her up. Might make an interesting chapter for a book I'm working on.
We hope to oblige.
Anyway, thank you for lunch. Hey, Lieutenant.
Houston, thank you. Well, listen, have you had any luck picking her up? Any leads at all?
I don't think she's coming back. Most of her clothes are gone.
Well, what about the brother?
Nothing so far.
Oh, that's great. We can't find him. We've got no records on her. I mean, who the hell is this Erin Brown?
Houston, for you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Right, CJ, listen, we'll be right there. I think you better come with me.
CJ got something on Aaron Brown?
More or less, yeah.
She isn't Aaron Brown, but this is. Or rather was. She's been dead for about a year.
What?
The real Aaron Brown was a nurse working at a mental institution in upstate New York. She was found murdered, repeatedly stabbed by an escaping patient.
I would hate myself for asking this question, but do we have a picture of the escaped patient?
Meredith Brown. That's her name. Same last name, but no relation. Very interesting girl, Houston. The doctor at the institution told me that when she was making her escape, she threw a 6-foot orderly through a plate glass window, and she gouged out the eyes of another one.
Do we have any information on her brother?
Yes, but he's not her brother.
That makes sense. Why should he be any different?
His real name is Greg Johnson. He's an orderly at the hospital where Aaron works. The brother-sister act is to justify their spending a lot of time together. The hospital administrator thinks they've been stealing drugs and having a high old time.
Houston. Telephone.
Thank you. Yeah.
Houston? Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
Aaron? Aaron, where are you?
Oh, Houston, I'm so sorry. I guess I got carried away. You know I could never hurt you.
Of course, Aaron. I know that. Listen, if you just tell me where...
And that guard, the poor man. I feel so bad. It was really just a little misunderstanding.
I believe you, Aaron. Yeah, I do. Listen, why don't we just get together and we'll work the whole thing out.
And you're not mad at me?
I'm not mad at you, Aaron. How can I be mad at you, huh? Come on. Now, when can we meet?
The zoo. The African Plaza.
I'll be there.
Houston, I love you.
I love you too, Aaron.
I'll round up my men.
Gotta go alone, Hoyt.
Houston, this is police business. She's wanted for murder.
She's a very sick lady, Hoyt. She hates uniforms. If she sees one, she's gonna run.
I'll use plainclothesmen.
And we better keep them out of sight, because if we lose her this time, we may not get a second chance.
The ladies late, boys and girls. Don't any of you fall asleep out there. Keep your eyes open. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. She kept her date after all. She's just passing the orangutans.
All right, everybody, just stay nice and calm, all right?
Stay cool now. We're gonna get all the way into Houston.
She stopped. What happened? Houston, what's going on? Something's wrong. She's just staring at the kid with the radio. Nobody panic. Come on, Aaron, baby. Just keep on walking.
What happened?
We blew it, CJ. Some kid picked up our stakeout chatter on his radio. She heard it, she spooked, and she ran. We couldn't get close to her.
Oh, great.
Hey, listen, did you come up with anything?
Yes, I found Erin's institution records. She didn't lie to you about everything, Houston. Her father was a policeman, but he didn't die in the line of duty. He died in a prison.
Why was he in prison?
Molesting children. His own.
Look, why don't you just go on home and get a good night's sleep, all right?
What are you going to do?
I'll stick around here. Maybe she'll try and contact me again.
Hello?
Hello, Miss Parsons. I talked to you on the phone the other day. I hope I didn't wake you.
No, you didn't.
Normally, I'm not the type to, call the, other woman, but, I thought in our case I'd make an exception.
I'm not sure that I follow you.
I'm talking about you and Houston. My Houston. I should have realized earlier why our relationship was in trouble. But then I would be the last to know, wouldn't I?
Erin, listen to me. There is nothing between Houston and myself but a...
That's, what Nurse Brown said at the institution. She tried to come between my doctor and me. But I showed her. Just like I'll show you.
Erin, where are you?
Maybe I'm outside your window. Watching you. I begged him not to leave. What we had was beautiful. But then you came between us.
Erin.
Did you dare interrupt me? You'll pay for this. You both will. If I can't have him, no one will.
Erin. Erin? Erin?
Get out of here. Yeah.
Houston, are you all right?
Yeah, I guess so, CJ.
Listen, I have just had the most terrifying phone call from Erin. She threatened to kill me, and she said that if she couldn't have you, nobody could.
Yeah, I got the same message. If you want information on Erin, meet me at 3841 Highfield Street alone. Gregory Brown.
You gonna tell Hoyt?
Well, not just yet. I don't want to take a chance of cops scaring him off, too. Head back to the office, and I'll get back to you, Easy. Easy, boy. It's all right. It's all right. It's a good boy. Come on, go on. Come on.
White, it's Houston. You call off the search party for Greg Brown. He's dead. Yeah, I found him at 3841 Highfield. Listen, I'll wait for you here, huh?
Houston!
Morning.
Darling, he wanted me to go back to the institution. But then I couldn't have you. Now can you see how much I love you? I'll never let anyone come between us. Not him, not her either. All my love, Aaron.
Not her either. CJ.
She's here, Houston. We're both here. We're waiting for you.
Just listen to me for a minute, Aaron, please.
No. You listen to me. If you want to see her again, I suggest you come alone. You know how I feel about uniforms.
Aaron, just let me talk to you, all right? Aaron. Aaron.
If you just have recognized how deep our love was. I tried to talk to you, remember?
You're going to kill me, aren't you?
It's nothing personal. I want you to know that. It's just... he has to see how much I love him. And how I do anything for him.
Aaron, don't!
I thought you said you loved me.
There's really nothing more anyone can do. She slipped into this catatonia shortly after she was brought in. It's not that uncommon of an occurrence, especially after the kinds of emotional trauma she's gone through.
You think she'll ever get over this?
Not likely. I think she'll probably spend the rest of her life the way you see her now. Such a waste.
Yes, it is.